somebody says this is easy, they're kidding you. They're kidding you. I should be happy because we're getting to the end here. But it seems like it's been a complete struggle from the beginning. All right, let's put this one in. Oh, come on, man. I feel a little better after lunch. I was getting hangry, I guess.
Yeah, you were.
I was ready to kill anybody that said they worked for the RV industry in any way, shape, or form. Okay, let me get it set up again. Don't say I can't.
I can't get in there, Zoe.
Really?
Because you're there.
So you got to get comfortable. Get yourself where you're comfortable to do that.
Oh, it's not easy.
I didn't say it was easy. I haven't said easy since I started this project. Good day, everyone, and welcome to FergTV. I'm Ray, and I'm glad you're here. We've got a little project today. We are going to install a dishwasher in this cavity below the sink. So I've removed the trash can, the drawer over there, the two doors in the front, drawers over here, kind of stripped it all down, get it down to where I can do my plumbing. So the next step is, this is what they give you from the factory, a shut-off and this connection, which is not the right connection. What you need is, now when they put this in 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe it was right, but what you need is a 3/8 compression fitting. And I got one with a, with 1/2-inch pecs on each end and a shut-off. And that I'm going to put out here. We'll figure out which way I'm going to put it, because I'm going to bring the line in from the from over here. I've tested it on the dishwasher. It fits. It's going to work perfectly. And see, with this down in this location, you can't push the dishwasher in because there won't be enough room. So you got to get it up. We're going to get it out because we're not going to use it. I'm going to cut this back and put a new fitting on here for the faucet, and it'll be up in here. And that will cut us enough slack that we'll be able to get this in. And that I can always pull that up, get it out of the way. That's the easy part. The hard part is, or not hard, but the next thing that has to be done is the opening is not correct. So I've got to cut this out. I'm going to relieve it a little up the top and the two sides to get this in. And then this had full height doors on it, and now we're going to have short doors. I've already had them made up and bought them a few years back, had them match the stain, and they're blanks. So I've got to take the hinges off of the old doors and insert them into the new ones. So that's our project. I'm glad you're here. We're going to work through this together, and let's see if it's a success. I didn't think they had electric in here, and I was a little upset about that because they kind of talked about it online right from Keystone. Now this was a bistro kitchen, and if you didn't have a dishwasher, it was all prepped for it. And then they didn't have electric in here, but they do. It's actually tucked away right there, which is perfect. Come up and over and plug in. So I think we're going to be in good shape. So let's cut this. I've already shut off the water and kind of drained the plumbing. Say that's it. Now we're going to move to the other cavity here. And we'll do a little over on this side. So we're in the drawer area here. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this and put this T in here. That's going to be our supply line for the water to the dishwasher. Probably right in that area. So just cut it right here. Let's cut it this way so we don't cut the other tube in also. And then we're going to somehow catch our water. You know there's going to be water in there. Hey, got most of it. That's probably all I could hope for. I do like this tool. It was worth buying it. And the name of it is an Apollo. I'll show you here. It's an Apollo. Alright, so that's going to go right there. We should have no problem doing what we need to do with that. Getting a fitting on there. Perfect. So what we need to do now that we're ready to go in, the only thing I have is that. I need to probably tie that up, because I don't think we're going to clear that. I don't know. I'll look at that. But the next thing that we need to do is mark this out, because we got to do some cutting. So let me get some blue painter's tape on there, and I'll show you how we're going to cut it out. I'm kind of up in the air. I got two ways I can do it, and I'll figure out which way I'm going to go. I ended up putting blue painter's tape on here and then marking out where I've got to cut, which is going to be equal to the bottom down here, and then 7/8 of an inch on each side. And then I don't know what this is, like a 1/2 inch or something. I didn't see how much I got to take off, but I just went with my measurement from the bottom to the top, which is 17 and 15/16. So that's all laid out. The next thing I got to do is, as I looked inside here, I'll show you. I'm going to hit a couple of screws as I cut back over here. A couple of the face frame screws. So I got to take those two out. We'll see how easy they come out. I think they'll clear. We can get to it, I think. Oh yeah. Just when you think there's no God, something like that happens. So we'll duplicate on the other side, and I'll meet you out front, and we'll start cutting. As I said, there's different ways that we could go about cutting this, and one way would be to cut the bulk of this out and then go in with a router and clean it up. That'd be the neatest way. It's also the most difficult way. The other way would be to use a circular saw, my little trim saw, set up a straight edge and cut it out. I'm not saying I'm not going to do that, but to start with, I'm going to use the jigsaw and at least connect my dots here, the corners, because they're going to be the hardest to work with here. So we're going to start with that. That should help. The problem with a jigsaw is no matter how good you think you are, you never come up with a straight line. shortcuts like that. That's nothing. But when you're cutting on a long one, as you move the jigsaw, the blade doesn't stay straight like on a circular saw. So it'll bend, and then your cut's wavy. I just come in here and get over to that. Boy, if I could get some better lighting. Well, that's better. I don't know how good it'll be down here, but I'll tell you, it's cutting really good. So now we get that piece out. Maybe we'll come in and get this piece out. This last one will have to be cut down that way. I'll get that over here. How about... Nobody move! Hey, this might be a good time for you to go give it the old up yours, huh? That would be great if you did. And maybe subscribe. Huh? It would make me think you cared. Even if it's an illusion. Maybe I ought to start down here, because I feel like it's going to cut rather well. The tape's a great idea, but what happens is it doesn't release. You would think that the blade would cut it, but it doesn't. I'm telling you, that doesn't look bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish cutting the rest of this out, and I'll bring you back in when it's done. I don't want to bore the snot out of you. Finished cutting it out. Took the belt sander and just kind of cleaned everything up. And now what I'm doing is just touching the corners up here with a sanding block. That looks pretty good. Just making the corners nice. I'm kind of happy with that. I'm going to take tape off and see what it looks like. And they give you some kind of tape or something to put on for moisture to wrap all of this exposed area. Yeah, ran good. We'll just kind of clean this up. Most of that's just dust that you're seeing. If you're seeing anything, I don't know what you're seeing. I don't have the best lighting on this, which was making it hard for me. Sue was holding the light, running the vacuum, and I didn't tape it or video it because I didn't want to bore you. Well, I think we're looking pretty good here. I got to figure out now. I got to look in the book. There's a couple of different ways to mount it, and yeah, see, there's not a lot of support there, so I'm probably going to have to cut the floor, put a board down to the floor that will then mount. I don't know. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Go to the side, I guess. I'll have to mount something to the side and to the bottom to support the back of this. All right, let me figure that out, and when I do, I'll come back and get you. Welcome to today's little RV repair tidbit. Today's tidbit is how to drill a hole in solid surface material. Now you say, why would I need to know that? Well, you ever consider putting in an Acura water system in your unit and you have a solid surface countertop? The faucet has to go through the top and you got to drill a hole. I'm sure there's other situations, but that's the one that comes to mind. So let me show you the different drill bits and the correct one to use. Here's some different drill bits that are available to you, but they're not all correct in drilling the solid surface material. Paddle bit, a hole saw, a twist bit, a Forstner bit that drills a flat bottom. You know, you might think maybe that would be the, yeah, but it's not. And a step bit. Out of all of these choices, there's only one that's approved, and that's a hole saw. I'll show you how we're going to do it. So you put it in your drill, obviously, right? Captain Obvious. And then what happens is your pilot drill will drill a hole. And then the hole saw will do its little job. Just what I didn't want to do. I was going slow, so I wouldn't do that. But well, you can see how that worked out. So anyway, here's your hole. Let's take a look at her. It's a nice clean hole. You take a little sandpaper and just clean around the top and the bottom. Boom. And there's your hole. That's the only one out of all of these that's approved to drill a hole. When you're using a hole saw, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's grooves on each side of the bit. The reason that they're there, you may already know, but you get in there with a screwdriver or something, and you can relieve the plug that it cuts and get it out of there. Now you know the correct way to drill a hole in your material. And it doesn't matter what solid surface material you have. It can be Corian, Sorel, Gibraltar. The list is endless, but it doesn't matter. It'll work on all of them, and it's an approved method. Now you can do it yourself and not have to worry about if I'm doing it proper or not. Just remember, measure twice and drill once. Locate that hole properly, and then you can do it yourself. I'm sure you can. And that's your little RV repair tidbit for today. It is time to test the water. So Sue is going to put the water on, and we're going to check for leaks. And if we don't see anything coming down, go ahead. Had one leak at the faucet. I had the faucet open. Well, I'm about ready to call it a night. We made progress. I got going a little late. Oops. I almost dropped you. We're going to hit the raw wood with some poly. I'm just using an old, well, it's a new brush, but a junky brush. And then I'll throw it away after. So I'll probably put a couple of coats on here. And then they have some tape for the moisture. That's it. So we're going to wrap it up. And I'll come back and get you in the morning. And we'll go back after it. Hopefully we get it all mounted up. We made it to the next morning. So I got a little jump on things here. Last night I put 2 coats of poly on all the cut area. And then this morning I just put my tape on. There's a moisture barrier that they give you. I don't know, they give it to you. It's like 6 inches, so I cut it in the strips. I don't know. It wouldn't have been long enough to do everything. And they don't give you a lot of information, to be honest with you. So I've put 2 mounting brackets. That's going to mount the rear of the dishwasher in place. And I kept them back about a 1/16 on each side. If it was real sloppy, I could always put a shim in there. But it looks like the way they make the bracket, it'll kind of pull out a little bit and go to it. And this should be pretty darn close here. I've checked and double checked, and we are about ready to go. And then over here, I put another shut-off in over here, because my problem is if there's some kind of a leak coming out the back side of that island on the floor, I want to be able to come over here and just shut things off. So now I have my shut-offs. And this is the bracket to hold the drain, which is going to go here. I don't think we're using this thing. It doesn't fit right. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get it there. And then the water, oops, get you in here. The water supply is going right here. So we'll see how that works out. And the electric is going right there. So I guess it's now or never. I'm just thinking about something right now, though. If I come out with the electrical over there, I am going to run into the back of this thing. Yep, because that has to come out the side, and I'm going to run into a problem with this. I should shift them forward and leave space in the rear now that I think about that. So I'm going to readjust them, move them both up. Gives me about an inch in the back. I didn't have to move the rear brackets, just these pieces. My thought process in the beginning was keep them far back, they'll be supported, and the support is actually right over in here anyway, so it's no big deal. Tape is good. This is here as a buffer, because when you slide this in, you're going to then take the dishwasher drawer out, and you need a place to set it because you can't get it out of the way. The hoses and wires are hooked to the drawer itself. That's it. I think we're ready to go grab that and bring it in. So I gotta get this up and over. I think in the end we're going to be all right. I'm going to find out. All right. So it's just a matter of feeding things. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how you're going to make sure that stuff stays down. Because you can't get in there.
Same with this hose. If you don't feed this in now, you're not getting your hand in there to feed it in.
Right. That's correct. You can't.
So that's going to the bottom one there.
That's going to go right up. Let's pull it out just a tick. That's going to go in right there. All right, so that's going to stay right there. And so as we get going a little bit here, what we're going to want to do, you're going to want to pull that one, and I'm going to want to pull this one, and then we're going to hope that they stay there. Okay, it's going to be tight.
Yeah, tight is an understatement. Can't even get my damn finger down.
What are we bound up on? The rear brackets, probably. Clearance. We're probably running into those hoses and things now. I might have to cut a little space on each side
just to get in there.
To get in there. So the other thing that could be done is, well, I can't really do that with the water tubing. Well, we got to come back out. Let's take a look at things. Because you can drill a hole down the bottom over here and pull them through at the bottom and then come up and around. That might be the ticket. Let's pull this back out. I had access to everything, so I didn't bother drilling a hole, but maybe that's the way we got to go. The decision has been made to cut an access hole here. I can't cut one back there, and I'll show you why. The way the island is made, it jogs out in the back here in the center. If I cut it where I was suggesting, I would be coming out here, because that would make it easy to run my tubing. So I can't do that. But what I can do is cut an access hole in this area, and it doesn't matter how big it is, because you won't ever see it, and I'll be able to get my hand in and kind of guide the tubing where it needs to go. That's my hope. So that's the new thought process. I took that off, and I took a 1/16 off of it, and now you know what I know, which isn't a whole heck of a lot. None of these things just happen, I can tell you that. I've been doing this a long time, and I think if it was easy, everybody would do it, type of thing. Okay. All right. So that puts me right there. I don't know if you can see that, but I came through right there. That gives me a reference point. And I wish I was back farther. I can go back another inch or two in this direction. Ugh. Let's see where we're at before we go kooky. All right, I could live with that. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut right up to here and cut this across. Okay, it's not beautiful, but you can't see any of this when we're done. There's drawers on the other side, and the cavity will be filled here with the dishwasher. And it's not worth taking your time making it pretty, because the only people who are going to know it's pretty are me and you're not telling anybody. I almost think I got to open it back up a little bit more this way. And before I get in a jam, I'm just going to do it. All right. Okay, we'll clean up a little bit, and then I think we're ready to give it a try again. Well, you missed the install of it. It's not completely installed, but getting it in. I saved you from some swear words. I'll tell you what, this is a project. It doesn't just slide in. So now we're going to do some mounting. I got some brackets here and here, and then some in the back. Now I got to find my hole in my bracket. Boy, if somebody says this is easy, they're kidding you. They're kidding you. I can see where the hole is. It looks like it's in line with this. Yep, there she blows. So you pull that out, that cap, leave that right there. You don't know what I'm talking about. So this cap is right here. And you pull that cap out and you have access to that screw right there. So now you can see that I'm there at that screw, but I don't want to put that one in yet. So it looks like there's 4 caps. I should be happy because we're getting to the end here, but it seems like it's been a complete struggle from the beginning. All right, let's put this one in. Oh, come on, man. Okay. We're getting there. There's been a lot of swearing to get to this point, though, I'll tell you that. It's not just dropping in. Well, that wouldn't be too bad right there. But I can't hold it there and drill it. No wonder I drink. We're down to the last screw that has to go in, the one in this corner, but you can see that that's sticking out a little bit. So what we're going to do is apply some leverage over here in the back. Oops, right there. Sue's going to do that while I push in the front, and then I'll have to drill this. I'm off like a half a hole. And then I got 2 to put in the back, and it'll be all screwed up, as they say. Or screwed in, I should say, not screwed up. All right. I feel a little better after lunch. I was getting hangry, I guess.
Yeah, you were.
I was ready to kill anybody that said they worked for the RV industry in any way, shape, or form. Oh, you got my 2 boards. Was there another one around?
No, I didn't.
All right, give me that guy right there. Luckily, I brought another one. Oh boy. Now what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta, okay, let me get it set up
I
again.
can't.
Don't say I can't.
I can't get in there. It's all like,
Really?
because you're there.
You can't get in here. Ugh. Okay. So now you know why I'm complaining.
I know why you're complaining, really. I
Okay,
do.
so what you gotta do is go in right here. This is what I'm talking about. You gotta go in on an angle, grab one of those slots, push the screwdriver in, put your hand on the handle. Gotta push in and then apply leverage. It's not as easy as you think. I made it look easy.
You did. So I can't get. I want to push that wood over.
What do you want to do? That's about right there.
It wasn't right there.
I know, but you can't just push the screwdriver. You got to push in hard and down. So you got to get comfortable. Get yourself where you're comfortable to do that.
Oh, it's not easy.
I didn't say it was easy. I haven't said easy since I started this project. All right, 1 second. That's it. All right. Now I got to go in and put the back ones in. Go ahead. Okay, we got a pilot hole. And now if we can get a screw in there. All right, that one's in. Now, the other side's not hard to do. It's that I can't see. You see? All right, now, my biggest challenge is to see what I'm doing. If I can do that, I can get this done. There's the hole right there. So, there it is, right there. There it is. Wasn't so hard, now was it? All right, I'm going to vacuum this out. I'm going to hook up my hoses, and then I think we'll conclude this. Got the drain all hooked up, and the last thing to do is hook up the water here. Tighten that down. Boy, this could be the end of the road for this project. It can't come soon enough for me. It was a little bit of a task. Well, here's what she looks like.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a sound, I guess, eh? All right. And then in she goes. Oh, I guess that's a success. I haven't seen it run yet, but I think the running part's going to be a success also. So I hope I didn't swear too much for you. I'll try to edit some of it out. This was a struggle for me, I'll tell you that. I don't try to hide things from anybody. This is a process. If you're thinking about putting a dishwasher in, you can do it. But be prepared that when you're working in an RV, it's not like a house. Listen, I do this for a living. Cabinets, you know, I don't usually put in appliances, but you know, we've certainly put in some dishwashers and stuff. nowhere as near, and especially for myself, nowhere as near the project that this was. This was a task. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you go give it the old up yours. Don't do it for me, do it for YouTube. And maybe you'll subscribe. The channel could use some subscribers. I'm keeping this one short, I hope, because I think I'm probably boring the snot out of people with too much detail. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Some people like to know all the details. Other people, it's like, I don't want to see that. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.